So your favorite creator has a great new build that you're super excited about, but it's a transfigured gem. And you need to know, is it safe to league start this? I'm here to give you all the details you need on league starting with a transfigured gem, how likely you are to get one, how to buy them, how to farm them. Let's get into it. So me and my community got together and did a bunch of lab runs to try to figure out how likely it was going to be for you to get your own transfigured gem on League Start. So the idea is you can run Merc Lab over and over again to try to get the best chance at the transform a non-transfigured skill into a random transfigured version. So there is also the Divine Font option that lets you get a random transfigured gem of the same color. But the odds of getting that are pretty low, and if they introduce new skill gems, it's going to be even lower. So what you're really hoping to get is the version that allows you to reroll a gem into a different version of itself, and we'll get to the odds into that in a second. But the idea behind this was you get to, level 70, you're about to do Kitava on your League Starter, and you want to maybe go try to farm your gem before you move into maps. What are the odds of being able to do that? Now, you could try to do Uber Lab, but then you have to buy all of the fragments, and that's not very feasible. So we decided to test Merc Lab. So I'm going to put up on the screen now our data that we ran from 247 Merc Labs. And the data seems pretty clear. It looks like it's about a 10% chance to get the transfigured gem reroll to a different version of the same gem. We'll just call that the gem reroll instead of the color reroll. So getting the gem reroll is an incredibly low weight. 10% chance is really low. That means 1 in 10 labs you're going to see it. But on top of that, there's a possibility that your gem has multiple options. Currently, I'm planning on doing an Ice Trap of Hollowness build, and there is only one transfigured Ice Trap, which means if I get that Divine Font option, I will get the gem that I want. But others like Blade Blast have 2. There may be ones with 3 coming out this league, so it's definitely something to keep in mind as you pick your league starter. Some other interesting data here. We got 0 support gems into exceptional gems, and we got 0 non-exceptional into awakened gem rolls of the Divine Font. Looks like that's an Uber Lab exclusive. I would imagine we might get one of those things in 250 runs, but we did not see them. Also, it looks like the reroll is guaranteed of the same color, so you always want to go for whatever color your gem is. So now that we've talked about the odds of accessing this, you can kind of assess how many runs of Merc Lab you're going to have to do on average in order to get the gem that you have chosen for League Start. If there is one option, it's going to take 1 in 10 with the possibility that you get it from the same color reroll if you want to go for that every time you hit that option. Now, I have no idea how many gems there are going to be this coming league, but as of right now, I think there are 22 options for green gems. That number could double. So the odds of getting your gem that way might get way harder. So hopefully they turn up the likelihood of getting the gem reroll instead of the color reroll. But anyway, so moving on, are you going to be able to buy it? Now this is somewhat speculative, but the way that lab generally works is you have lab runners that will go get gems that are good for meta builds. If you're going to play something that is really off meta, you might struggle to find that gem on the market in the early days, because if a couple other people want it, it might just wash the market totally. Like if I go to the lab and I see a galvanic arrow gem, I'm probably not going to turn my gem into that because I don't think I'm going to be able to sell it. So it might be a challenge really early to find the gem that you want. Then on the other side, you might have trouble buying on day 1 if you're playing something super meta. A gem that people are entirely aware of, Penance Brand of Dissipation, it's going to get nerfed, but assuming it doesn't, everyone's going to go for it on day 1 because everyone's going to be playing it. So it might be challenging because supply is not nearly as high as the really high demand. So supply and demand issues definitely are going to exist if you're trying to buy your gem. So I definitely would have a backup plan. I don't recommend starting builds that require the gem in order for the build to function, because if you can't get it early, you might end up getting stuck playing the build that you were playing before. I looked at Blade Blast of Dagger Detonation, and after doing 37 runs in my first SSF trial, I decided I did not want to try to get a gem that had 2 possibilities, because the odds that you get unlucky are really high, and then what if nobody's selling that gem? At this point, obviously, patch notes notwithstanding, I'm going to be starting Ice Trap of Hollowness. Now that only has 1 transfigured gem, so it'll be pretty easy to farm yourself. Even with bad luck, 15 runs probably max to get the gem between the same color reroll and the gem reroll. Now, how do I recommend that you get your gem on day one? I think if you have a gem that you want to get from lab, I recommend going to Merc Lab, running it 5, 6, 7 times. Don't spend too much time doing it, but get a few gems out that you know you can sell. If you don't get your own gem, that's fine. Go and take a look at things that are going to be meta. Look at some of the major build creators. What are they going to be playing? You can even probably get an early look at some PoE Ninja data. Try to assess what the market wants. So grab those gems, reroll greens as of right now, and then just sell those things and buy your gem. I personally was a little bit concerned when I first looked at this data about league starting with a transfigured gem, but after thinking about it for a bit, I'm not too terribly worried. I think that if you're in a trade league environment, you're going to be able to run lab a little bit. You get 4, 5, 6 runs, you're going to get some good gems out of there that you can use to sell and then buy your own gem. Shout out to all of the community members that farmed Merc Lab with me on stream. Not the most fun thing, but we wanted to get some good data because I could not find anything that explained how often you were going to get the different divine font options in Merc Lab. So now that we have that data, share this video with your favorite creator if they have any questions about how often you can expect to see these things. Uber Lab is just not farmable on day one. There's no way to get the fragment. So Merc Lab it is, and you look like you're going to be able to make some pretty good money in there if you can stick to it for an hour or two. So patch notes tomorrow. I am super excited. Come check out the stream, twitch.tv/AER0___. I will be live right after this video comes out, and I will also be live tomorrow for the patch notes. So that's going to be it for me. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, drop them down in the comment section below. Give this video a like and subscribe to the channel. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you for watching. And as always, take care.